Hi, Emily. I'm so happy to welcome you today to our Member Q&A. And I'm Ali Schiller, the founder of Accountability Works. And Emily has graciously agreed to answer some of our member Q&A questions. So the way I'm going to go through this with Emily is we're going to go through an introduction where Emily can introduce herself to you and tell you a little bit about what she's doing and some of the questions I have for her. And then we're going to talk about lifestyle and inspiration because everyone can relate to that. And I think they're really fun questions. Then we'll talk about accountability and impact, and we'll end with how you can connect with Emily. So, Emily, let's start off with you introducing yourself to our community.
Yes, and Ellie, thank you so much for having me here. It's really nice to connect with you in this way. My name is Emily Ramos, and I own a small leadership and development company called Catch Coaching and Consulting. And we work with companies of all size to help develop their managers, their leaders, and their employees. And we also do a lot of one-on-one coaching as well.
Wonderful. And what would you say, Emily, is your true north or your why?
My why is I just genuinely like to help people. I like to feel helpful and feel useful. And I found through this work that I've been able to help a lot of people sort of get unstuck, whether it's internal blockers, like they're wanting to accomplish their own career goals and feeling really stuck, or they're wanting to be more effective in a leadership role and they feel like they can't, there's something blocking them from being effective with certain types of people. I've been stuck so many times in my life, and I really like helping people that are feeling some kind of block in their way.
Hmm. What would you say is your expertise or zone of genius?
I think it goes to finding those blockers, really kind of being able to help bring clarity to what that is. I think it can be really confusing. You know, a lot of people that I know are in accountability works and that I work with are very successful individuals, and it can be sort of a disconnect of, wait, why am I getting stuck here? I'm smart enough, I've worked enough, I've got these certifications. Why can't I go to where I wanted to get? And so I like being able to help people have clarity in finding that. And then I think as part of that, I spend a lot of time in the personal development psychology world and a lot of time in the workplace. I've been in kind of different career roles for the last 15, 20 years. So I think I'm really good at bridging that gap where I can sort of take the human psychology piece and then help apply it to workplace settings.
Hmm. I love that. All right, so moving on to lifestyle and inspiration, what are your daily practices?
You know, it's funny to me as I actually don't have a daily practice right now. And I am someone who thrives on routine and structure and, working out on these days at this time and just the way life is right now with my family and running my own business. I just don't have that. I know we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but Accountability Works has actually really helped me be okay with not having like that strict daily practice. And so for me, it's more week to week of like, what is needed? What do I need each week, given what I have on the calendar and coming up? And there's certainly some pillars in there around, just certainly health and well-being and movement. And lately, I've been spending a lot of time and intention around really looking for those joyful moments. My schedule is very full, and I can be someone who kind of sees that as a chore. But I've really shifted that into a year ago. I wanted every single thing on my calendar this week, and I've got it. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to just get through it. So I think for me, kind of the most consistent practice right now is really tracking the moments of joy throughout the day.
Hmm. I love that. And it's really honest because sometimes we have this ideal of like, if I had just started my day every day with hot water and lemon and, went to
Exactly.
bed and meditate, like, and I think what you're saying is my life is really full. It's really different every day. And I'm enjoying that because that's what I wished for in a way.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think also the structure of having the things that you want to get done, let's say in a week, or the things you want to experience, having some flexibility around that versus every single day, but knowing, okay, these are my pillars. Where's your language? I think is really helpful for people who that particularly in my own coaching right now, it feels like there's a desire for more routine or more structure than life is allowing.
Yes, yes. And then I also find when if I know that the pillars are being taken care of, then I can really enjoy those moments, right? So like, my husband's job, he travels a lot. So if he's home and it's a Tuesday morning, I don't want to go work out. I want to be home and have coffee with him and the dogs. Well, if I know everything's being taken care of, that can be a really joyful morning. If I'm stressed about not getting everything done, there's no way I'm sitting down and having coffee. Or if I am, he doesn't want me near him because I'm going to be a little stress ball.
Good point. Good point. Emily, what's your favorite indulgence?
So, if I'm being honest, my favorite indulgence right now is TikTok. I just, there's something about it. I think it makes me laugh. It's just pure entertainment, and I love just 20 minutes on it in the evening. Just, I love it.
Like guilty pleasure.
Absolutely.
What are you reading, listening to, and or watching?
That's something that has been, so I read a lot for my job. Like there's a lot of trainings and, looking at best practices and I enjoy that. And I think I'm sort of thinking of this question more like outside of that. I have specifically been looking for things that really entertain me and are just like an uplift. So, my current favorite podcast is Amy Poehler's podcast, Good Hang, where
Mhm.
she's such a great woman, someone I admire, and just there's such a lightness in that podcast that I just really enjoy. And it feels like how I want to use that downtime from work is the uplift. And so I've been enjoying that.
That's really good. Really good. I haven't actually listened to her podcast. I've been off of podcasts lately, but I'll check it out because
It's
I'm looking for the uplift too.
yeah, it's like, and there's a part of me that, kind of always wants to be productive and oh, I've got a, 2 hour drive to the city. Like, let me fill that with like a management podcast. I'm like, or I just want to hear Amy Poehler interview Judge Judy, and it's fantastic.
Oh, I love that. So, shifting gears to accountability, how do you define accountability or how do you think of accountability?
And I think of accountability, it's a lot around intention. So really choosing to do or not do something. But I just that word intention really feels almost synonymous for me the way that I see accountability.
Hmm. And what has accountability helped you with? Accountability works, let's say specific.
Yeah, definitely accountability works. Yes. I the list is long. I'm just finishing up actually, I think a year. I think this is my fourth quarter working with Accountability Works, and it has changed so much for me personally and professionally. I think a couple of the big pieces as a solopreneur, that we're wearing so many hats at one time. And I was doing a lot of like starting and stopping many different initiatives. And so what would typically happen is, I would have get a new client or a big project, and then I'd work on that. And then I wouldn't be tending to those important but not urgent tasks in the background. So I'd lose those threads. Then I'd finish the deliverable, and then it was time to like restart every system again. What Accountability Works has helped me do is to really see and look at each week and each quarter of where am I investing my time, even if this is busy, like how can I still keep these other pieces moving along? And I'm not doing huge lifts every week, but it's like just consistent action. That's all that is needed, truly. So that's been a big one. Somewhat, I think, related to that has been a very healthy exercise for me to understand how much I can do in a week. I think, again, sort of that starting and stopping nature that I used to do, I would get panicked and I would think, well, I've got to like fix my whole business this week. That's not motivating, right? I don't want to wake up, and I certainly am not having that, relaxed morning coffee if I have this thing of like, I need to fix this business because I don't have a healthy pipeline coming in. So I think I've been able to understand like what I can reasonably accomplish in a week because it's mapped out over the length of a quarter or a year. Um, and then the last piece I'll share for now, and again, I could go on for quite some time, but the personal foundation piece has been really important with Accountability Works. And I don't know if folks, listening are familiar with that, but sort of started viewing personal foundation. We make commitments in that area as like, well, I need to make sure I work out, need to make sure I eat healthy, get sleep. And those are important, but I just happen to be someone I tend to do that very naturally. I don't need a lot of kind of extra support around that. But for me, it was pieces like finding the joy. And, if there was an event coming up, like spend some time planning it, like I would put that on my list and indulge a little bit more in my creative side and, really like prepare for a family camping trip so that it was fun, not just like this chore that had to get done. Those pieces have filled me up so much, certainly over the last year. And it's not at the expense of what I'm doing professionally, but it really helps bolster, it makes everything I'm doing professionally worth it.
I really love that you point out how you're not using personal foundation in the way that some people might construe it, and that you've tailored it to where you can use it for the best support of the things that you're doing, the other things that you're.
Yes.
I think that's a really important piece, and one of the things that we realized early on, because it used to be called healthy habits, that section.
Oh, interesting.
And then as it grew, and we all, like, everything in the program is informed by the people doing the program. And so we've listened over time, and what we realized was it was like connection, it was creativity. It wasn't just health,
Yes.
health was just like one little aspect of it. And so there were mindfulness practices, there were reading of books, there was just like all these other things that we couldn't quite name. So we kind of came up with personal foundation as this bucket that were the things that like supported you in doing more of what you wanted to be doing and feeling good about.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. And I mean, I have to recognize my coach, Madeline, who was also very good at spotting when I would mention something that I did that was creative or especially connection. And she was able to reflect that back to me and say, Emily, it sounds like that was really meaningful for you. And I was like, yeah, it really was, wasn't it? And then, oh, maybe I can do that again next time. Like it's not so groundbreaking, but it really was a blind spot for me.
Yeah, which takes us back to kind of where you were in the beginning, which is it's even if you're really good at identifying like places where people are blocked, it's so hard to see your own, which is like I'm in the process all the time too because I don't see them either.
Yeah, we're not wired that way, right? Like we're
Yeah.
not, the human design is not to spot our own blind spots. Yeah.
No, no, no. Well, I've really enjoyed this conversation, Emily, and I'm sure everyone that's watching will as well. How can someone connect with you if they want to learn more about what you do or connect with you?
Yeah, I would love to connect with folks. So they can find me on my website. So it's thecatchconsulting.com. And I'm on LinkedIn as well, just as Emily Ramos.
Excellent. Okay, well, we will share those in the show notes. So thank you so much, Emily. It's been really fun talking to you today.
Thank you, Allie. This is wonderful.